What's going on, prospectors? Dig Daddy here in the shed, bringing you another episode of Backyard Prospecting. And today we got a bucket from Allers Crafted. He's got some Lake Erie mini beach bucket we're going to check out today. So stick around, we're going to check us out some dirt.
Shed in the back, old dreams in the dark. Dig Daddy's out there with a fire in his heart. Pay dirt on the table, sifting through the night. Glitter in his eyes, everything feels right. Hand in the water, fingers in the mud. Buckets full of promise, gold in the blood. Gear on the bench, tools of a trade. Hustling through the silence, riches to be made.
Alright, welcome back. So, like I said, we got a bucket of dirt from Allers Crafted. He's one of our viewers, and he's selling this dirt from Lake Erie. Posted up about it, I saw, and I was like, yeah, you know what, let me check that out. So I ordered one up, and it got here in nice, safe condition. Zoom out a little bit so you guys can see what I got. Sent it to me here in a nondescript box, 6x6x6. Inside the box, we've got some packaging material. More packaging material. I think the bucket's right there. Lots of packaging material. Alright, let's get that out of the way. But we found the bag, or the bucket. So, bust out the knife here. Cut through the tape. Very well packaged. Bubble wrapped. Inside of the paper package. That's awesome. That is super cool. Anything else in there? No. There you go. A little mini bucket of pay dirt. That is awesome. This has got to be the coolest container of pay dirt I've ever received. The little bucket's even got a handle. That is awesome. All right. For presentation, 100 out of 10. That is freaking cool. And I can feel this thing is packed full of material. Whoa. All right. Be careful shaking it around. I just popped the lid off. Isn't quite as secure as I thought it was. But inside, it is packed full of material, which is also bagged. So he's definitely taking his precautions to make sure this dirt gets to you in good condition. Lots of little seashells. We'll check that out here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and take a look at the description. Put that up. Lake Erie mini beach bucket of pay dirt, $65. My Lake Erie mini beach bucket pay dirt comes in one of those elusive... Man, this is a lot of capital letters in the description. You need to fix that because that is annoying to read. Those elusive trending mini buckets full of Lake Erie beach sands and stuff. I guarantee there is at least half a gram of gold in each bucket, along with inclusions sought out from Lake Erie rockhounds, such as beach glass and pottery. The gold will be picky-pokey sized and get a bit smaller until you get below the heavy garnet and super heavy black sands. Then the gold will be very fine and floaty. The amount of pay dirt is approximately 16 ounces by volume, so about a pint of beer or around 1.5 pounds. I like his scale measurements, that's awesome. As this pay dirt may seem easy at first, once you get down to the fine garnets and black sands, I would rate this mini bucket fairly difficult. I made these buckets to share the experience I had while prospecting and rockhounding in the Northeast Ohio area of Lake Erie. I am not responsible for your shitty panning skills or porch pirates. Well, that's very honest and very straight up. There is a half a gram of gold in here. If you don't find a half a gram, do it again. Go back through it till you found a half a gram. Because he is not responsible for your shitty panning skills. And there you go. There you have it. A lot of people, they pan through. They go too quick. They don't do the right technique. They kick their gold out. It's hard for pay dirt sellers to give a give a fair anything when you can't account for how people pan. That's why I use the sluice, because you can't account. I mean, you can't miss anything. Anyways, there you go. Now let's head over here to the bench so we can get a better look at the dirt. And what an awesome little bucket. That is cool. So, $65 got it to me, and we're going to check it out. So let's head down and do that. All right, so this is what we're working with. Definitely some beachy looking sands. There's a lot of little worn, like sea glass. Lots of other little very colorful pebbles. Oh, that's cool. A zinc penny. Oh, yeah. Never see those. Whole bunch of little sea glass. I guess we'll get all of that when we classify it. But very cool looking. Like wood. That's cool. Lots of cool little stuff in here, for sure. We'll get all that mixed, split out once we classify. We'll go ahead and do that now. And very awesome looking pay dirt. Guys, get up close with that. Get a good look at it. That looks awesome. Look at that little zinc penny. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Let's do some classifying. So, of course, tunes for you, tunes for me. Let's get to it. All right, welcome back. So we got it all sorted and shifted out, and this is what we wound up with. We'll start off with the above 1/4 inch, the big stuff that got filtered out right off the bat. We got that zinc penny that we found earlier, a bunch of sea glass, looks like a big piece of garnet, a couple garnets in there, but most everything else in here is sea glass, some big shells, and you're gonna see that shells is gonna be the theme of the day, because down here in the +10 it is mostly shells and sea glass, more sea glass. I thought I saw a putty cat, but it might have just been a flake of gold. So we are going to run this down to see if there's any gold in the +10. But mostly it's just shells and sea glass. The +20 is just the same, but smaller versions of that. And all very light material, but luckily there's not a lot. But I do see a little bit of gold in there. So of course this is going to get run down the sluice as well. There's another piece of little flake of gold in there. Next we got our +40, and here we have more sands in there mixed with those shell fragments. But we will go ahead and hit it with the magnet at this point, just to see what kind of magnetic sands we're going to be seeing here in the 40s. Not much, just a little bit, but everything changes when we get to the sub 40. this is where all the material's at. It's all sand. The entire thing is all sand. And that's why that bucket seems so heavy, because it's all sands, not wasted space on big rocks. There's a little bit, you know, the shells and whatnot are super light, but man, once you get to the sub 40, boom, there is all the material. Kind of like the description says, it starts off really easy, but once you get down to it, that's where your challenge is. So let's hit this with the magnet, because I have a feeling, holy shit, I have a feeling that the story changes. And I can, holy wow. And it may just be the amount of material we have here is skewing the results a little bit, but look at that. We got a full beard of magnetite. A full beard. I think that's as much as the magnet will hold. And these magnets will hold a lot. So let's do this. And we'll dip back in for another scoop and see if we can get another healthy beard full. Oops. We did. All right, third time's the charm. So there wasn't much up above, but I had a feeling that down here we were going to see it. And definitely do. 3 full beards worth of magnetite in here. Look at that. Look at that. With this much of it, I'd be a fool not to try to separate some out right now. So yeah, a lot of potential for challenge in there with all this magnetite. Because there's a lot of it in here. Oh my gosh. Enough to fill the magnet. Of course, these are beach sands, and you know all the heavies wind up there on the beach. So there you go. Look at that. That is a lot of magnetite in here. That is a lot. So, you got 2 options. You can either run it and then have to pan through this at the end, or pick yourself up a magnet of some sort, backyardprospecting.com in the swag shop, and get all that stuff out of the way up front. Save yourself time and hassle. If you get a good technique for it, you can remove the material without losing any of the gold. You just have to run it back and forth a couple times, separating it till you're only pulling the magnetic stuff. Shake it off. Let gravity do the separating, and let the magnetic forces push the magnetite up to your magnet, and then throw that other material back, because that might be gold that got picked up. But there you go. Magnetite. Alright. For the rest of this, we're going to get it all wet, fire up the sluice, and get our gold. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we got this dirt all wet and ready to run, so we're going to fire up the sluice. and have us some fun. So back to the music for you, and I'm going to turn it back on for me, and let's see what kind of goodies we can find. All right.
Lake Erie wind cuts like a knife. Gotta find some gold. Beach sand grit in my life. Another story told. Black sand in my craw. Clamshell, sea glass and...
All right. So we got this dirt all ran down the sluice. We'll cut the power there. Let's go check out what we found. At least get a sneak peek. All right, there we go. Definitely seeing some gold in there. Absolutely. All up there in the gold zone. Very nice. All right. Well, we're going to get this dirt all cleaned up and see what we actually found. We'll be right back.
Erie gold. Gotta have it all. Erie gold. Hear that siren call. Mini bucket in my hand. Digging in the muck. Digging in the sand. Out of luck. Alice crafted guarantee. Half a gram maybe. This ain't no easy sea. Frustration maybe me. Erie gold. Gotta have it all. Erie gold. Hear that siren call.
All right, we are back. We got this gold all dried up and we are ready to weigh it out. Once again, we got the Lake Erie Mini Beach bucket from Allers Crafted. Half gram is guaranteed. Let's see what we found. All right, 0.586. 0.586 of a gram of gold is what we found. So just a little bit over that half gram guaranteed, and looking really good. So I'll take a couple pictures of this gold for you so you can see it up close, and then we'll be right back with my final words and ROI. welcome back. Man, all right, what a good time. I had a great time going through that dirt. We'll talk about the dirt, then we'll talk about the gold as we do. The dirt was all basically sand. What was mostly at the top 3, 4 classifications, from the 1/4 inch and above, the 10 plus, 20 plus, even the 40 plus, mostly it was all just seashell. And this is beach sand, so to be expected, there's going to be a lot of seashell, little clam shells in there, but this dirt was mostly that above the 40. Once we got below 40 mesh, it all turned to sand. A lot of fine sand, heavy sand, a lot of heavies in there, a lot of magnetic sands in there. So just like his description, it's going to be really easy at first. You're going to get that light stuff off of there really quick. And then suddenly you're going to get kicked in the face with some really difficult dirt. So be cautious when you go through this stuff. Don't just go through it all at once because there's a lot of magnetic sands in here. And if you attack all of that at once, it's just going to be a big clump at the bottom of the pan and you're going to be struggling with it. So you could do a couple things. Like I did, get it out of the way, out of the majority of the sand. Go through that, get the majority of your gold out, and then go through the black sands afterwards. I did pull it all out of there, but I also was making sure that I was pulling the gold. Okay, that I was pulling the gold out of there as well. Because I went back and I went through those black sands. And grabbed any gold that was still caught up in them. And there were a few extra little flakes. So it absolutely is worthwhile to take that time and go through it a little bit at a time. Don't do it all at once because there's a lot of black sand and you want to have a chance to separate it from the gold. So if you try to do that with a whole bunch clumping together, you're going to have a much more difficult time than if you just sprinkle a little on there, go through it, get your gold, do a little bit more, rinse, repeat over and over till you're done. But definitely go through it, spend the time, do that, because you will find a few extra gold flakes there. And as I always say, no gold left behind, so save every single flake, it all adds up. But the majority of your gold is going to be in that main dirt, that big pile there. So get all of that, had a good time going through it, take your time, because there's a lot of fine sand in there and some heavies in there. And it's a bit of a challenge. There is definitely a challenge to this dirt, so absolutely had a great time going through that. Now let's talk about the gold that we wound up finding. A good mixture of gold size in there, all the way from bigger flakes down to really, really fine, make me chase after it, black sand, heavy gold, and flour gold. And it was everything. It was everything and everything in between. And so it was really good to be able to get that out of all of the different classifications, to see gold in it as I was going through it, was really cool. And, the gold that we found was really good as well. What we were guaranteed was a 1/2 gram, and we found a little bit more than that. So that's awesome. I'll go ahead and throw the numbers up for you. Just for the people who love to see that. The bag cost me the bucket rather, cost me $65. That was shipped to the door, $65. What we wound up finding is 0.586 of a gram of gold, which has a today value of $69.43. So we actually made a little bit on this one at 106% ROI. And that's great, You can't complain. 106 ROI is pretty damn good. When you bring back more gold than you're paying for, or I guess you can call it that way. It's a little bit more than I was expecting. I can't complain. I had a great time going through it, getting the gold out of there. Of course, I will leave a link down below for you guys to go check out Aller's website. The bucket is just the coolest freaking way of putting pay dirt. It's about a pound of dirt and it fits in the little bucket. It's a pound bucket of dirt. It's freaking awesome, man. Maybe a pound and a half. I didn't weigh it. I probably should have. I didn't care. It was full and it was awesome. So good amount of gold. Great little bucket to get. I mean, this is the freaking awesomest inclusion of all. I'm stoked on the little bucket. But the gold was great as well. So definitely go check it out. Again, I'll leave a link down below for you to do so. Go check out his YouTube channel. He is one of our YouTubers here. Go see his adventures and whatnot. And of course, he's a member of one of our community. So hats off to him. Great product that you've created. I had a great time going through it, and thank you for having the opportunity for us to check out this dirt that you're picking up out there at the beach, out at Lake Erie. Good stuff. But yeah, awesome. Go check it out. Go pick up a bucket for yourself and enjoy going through it. I definitely did. Other than that, I got, that's all I got for you guys this week. Of course, don't forget to join us Monday nights, 5 p.m. Pacific for BSing in the shed. And other than that, get out there while you still can, while the weather is good, and try to get some shiny of your own. Otherwise, that's it. Until next time, this is Dig Daddy signing out from the shed. If I don't see you out at the rivers, I will catch you in the backyard. Peace. Pretty hot, huh? Gold digger. Go check out the swag shop if you want to get one of these sweet shirts for yourself. Otherwise, check out this playlist here for some more prospecting pay dirt reviews, and down here for some gear reviews. Go get a shirt from the swag shop. They're cool. All right, get out of here.